Good morning, friends. We'll get started momentarily. Listen to your body, do what you need. Listening to how you're feeling, checking in with yourself. Just getting Instagram fired up here on the old DMD spot live. Let's go. It's Saturday. It's sunny. We're going to sweat and move and dance. And then we can do other things, like go in the sunshine. I'm just going to get my music going. Make sure you have water. Water is always good to have on hand. And connect to this guy. Great. Dun, 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 dun. Connected. Sweet. All right. You can find yourself walking around the space. Let's walk as though we're in a shallow creek, and we don't want to disturb the water. We don't want to disturb the sediment at the bottom of the creek. So we're walking in a way that is very gentle and mindful. Almost like we were to silently approach someone so they wouldn't know we were approaching them. Let's lean into lengthening our step. And let's notice how we can approach the bottom of our step. When our foot really opens and flattens into the ground. And as the music starts to pick up, we can start to lengthen and shift in different ways. And really starting to notice how we roll through our foot. So we receive the floor, hit the bottom of our step, and roll through. And the idea of the bottom of our step, it's like when we step through something really squishy, like the bottom of a creek, and our feet just sinks a little bit into the sediment. So we're still trying to not disturb the sediment, but we are trying to move a bit more briskly. This is great. Let's start to notice our pelvic floor and our core. If we bring just a little bit more hum and energy into it, a bit more connection and awareness, how does that affect what we're doing? And let's dial up that hum in the pelvis. And you can find a stance that feels like your hips are very available. We're going to start to lean forward and back with our pelvis. So thinking of the tailbone curling forward and then the pubic bone curling back. And it's from that place of a big hum in our pelvis. And see how big you can get this movement going. And then we can start to take it in different directions. good old hip circles to lubricate and get our synovial fluid in our hips going. You can find those really low, really broad, really shifted big places. The heat of the weather allows our bodies to be a bit more available. I love it. So we can play into that. And now let's start to bring in that shift again, leading with the pelvis, the tailbone, the pubic bone, letting our weight shift. Let's bring awareness into the arms, just letting them move with you so we're not forgetting them. They're involved in what it is we're doing. So great, you guys. Hopefully you're starting to warm up a bit, get a little bit sweaty, have your breath deepen and quicken. We're going to bring an image of warm, juicy bubble gum. We're going to start to chew our bubblegum toes, like our toes were, that pink Hubba Bubba, really juicy. And we can bring that into our feet and arches and heels. And we can bring that into our ankles and up to our calves and knees. Warm, juicy chewing gum, like, just really big wad of it. And into our thighs and hip sockets. And into our core, chewing our six-pack, chewing our lower spine. And then let's go into our chest, our lungs, our ribs, our heart, our sternum, our collarbones, our neck, our shoulders, our forearms, our wrists, our fingers, our head, our top of head. So warm, juicy chewing gum, chewing, moving. And we can start to spread and get longer with this action. And imagine that our core, we could pull long strings of chewing gum from our fingers. So we have this long string connection from our fingers to our core. And then we'll add them from our toes. Let's play around with this image for a little bit. Let go of looking at the screen, and you can just listen to my voice. Interpret this as what makes sense to you. Really understand your body. Adding another image, as though our torso is a gorgeous egg and our heart is the yolk. Let's shift and move the yolk of our egg torso. And let everything else agree and follow along for the ride, letting it shift and move. Coming forward and back. How high can you lift your yoke? How low can it go? Can it go out to the side? Out to the other side? Still maintaining the other images, the chewing gum muscularity, the strings from the toes and fingers. Let's settle and ground ourselves. Perceive how you're feeling. Let's connect to the space. How far can you see where you are? And then how far can we see through the screen? Out my windows, perhaps. Down a hallway. And then notice what's close to you, the furniture, the walls. And then notice your body. And with the movement we were just using, warm, juicy chewing gum body, strings from the core to the fingers and toes, egg yolk heart, steps that find the bottom. We're going to explore our space. So let's come very close to the walls. Noticing where you can lean your weight into, the furniture perhaps that's nearby, a windowsill, what it might be like to lean against a wall. And let's use this as a way to expand and open. That the room is our playground, and we can discover the space as this gorgeous opportunity to accentuate our movement. So I have a chair over here, I might lean into it. Or put my fingers on the table. Nice, you guys, looking great, yes. And then let's start to move more vigorously from point to point. Exploring the space, keeping the quality of our physicality alive and engaged. Using what we have to our advantage. It might be coming down to the floor. Perceiving far, close by, and then your body. We're going to shift from side to side. Find a stance that you'd like to stand in a parallel second. And then let's just lean into making it just slightly wider. Shifting from side to side. When we move our arms now, can we imagine we have gorgeous, very long fingernails that reach far out into the space? The lightness and power of the hum of our pelvis. So we're going to shift one side, the other side. Let the weight pour into one leg. We'll come down low and walk out with our hands. And then we'll walk back in. We'll step back out and do a little turnaround land. And then we'll shift from side to side. Pour the weight into the other leg. Bring the legs together, come down. Crawling out, reaching up the heels on top of head. Come back in. Step out and do a gentle turnaround. And if it's too sticky on the floor, don't turn. Just do balance and down. So we're shifting from side to side. When it makes sense to you, you'll pour your weight. Exploring those chewing gum strings. Legs join. You crawl out. Go in the direction that you want to explore. Lean back with your tailbone. Head last to arrive. Step out. Turn around. Shifting. Please indulge in the timing that you need. Go slower than me or go faster than me so that you fully experience the movement in a way that is satisfying to you. Nice, you guys. We're shifting from side to side and finding a hovering balance, coming down, crawling out, crawling back in, rolling up, stepping out, and woo! Let's do that one more time each side. Find the rhythm and the timing that makes sense for the research of your body. How does this movement become satisfying to you? Using your vision, the bottom of your plie, chewing gum body, hum of the core, leading with the top of head through space, imagining your body, that bubble gum, stretchy and expansive, and juicy. Leading with the top of the head, pressing the head through space. Keeping the fingernails very long. The knees, hips, and ankles soft and supple. Great. So we've led with the tailbone and pubic bone. We've led with the heart. And we've led with the top of the head. Let's start to find a spiral. So allowing the hips and the top of the head to go in different directions. Rotating. Exploring this action as an improvisation. There's no right or wrong way to do it right now. We're just figuring it out. Find the spiral. The ringing action in your spine. So we're going to go swing, swing, leg around, swing, leg around, swing, swing, leg around, swing, swing. Swing, swing. My leg swings and threads back. I twist around. I twist back. The leg comes around and back up to second. Spiral, spiral. Leg swings in and back. Woo. And if you need to adjust your facings to be in your space, you do that. If you need something, you can satisfy that. Great. Let's just keep finding spiral and swing. Swinging the limbs. Finding places to rotate around yourself. Pick up both. The swing of a leg. That's great. Woo. Let's let ourselves be unplanning. We're just letting this idea, okay, I'm swinging and I'm spiraling. And like we were exploring the space, if it makes sense to use a wall, please do. We're not cheating. We're using what we have to our advantage. If we lean into a space. So now I'm going to ask you to intentionally do that with your swing and spiral movement. Find a place where you can lean in and push away. And then carry on your swinging and spiraling. So great, you guys. I can feel you. It's great. All right. When you feel satisfied with that, let's return to our gentle walk in the ground. Our walk where we're not disturbing anything. Not disturbing the ground. I was using the image of a creek. This is my idea of what the point of doing plie is. Our hips, knees, and ankles are soft. Let's lower this walk. Let's shift. So as soon as we start to shift, we use plie. As soon as we receive the weight, we're going to plie. Now can we, instead of going in this beautiful pedestrian walk, starting with the heel, can we imagine going through the ball of the foot, not disturbing anything, but still finding the bottom of the step. So we're inserting the toes first, and then sinking beautifully into the bottom of the step. Our torso is humming and engaged. So our torso is like a glorious fountain, just energy flowing up. We can lean into taking bigger steps. Let's be more risky, and let's stop being successful. Speed up a little bit, or add nuances like a piece of music. Starting with the toe, ball, heel, and then through the ankle, knee, hip. Wide second, and then take it a little bit wider. We're going to plie, curl forward. Press open, plie, lift. Whew. Plie, curl forward. Pressing those beautiful legs wide and open. Plie back. Press like you're trying to widen and, I was going to say biggerfy your body. Rise, and we're going to lower. Press, I'm lifting this leg's heel. I'm going to reach up and over and find that length between fingers and toes. And return. Lift the other heel, press, lengthen, reaching. Feels so good. From here, I'm going to lift. I'm going to come to this position. I'm going to let this leg turn in parallel. I'm going to rise and lower, imagining I could do any movement from this location. My pelvis is humming. I'm not dumping into it. My spine's getting longer as I'm reaching and radiating my fingernails longer. I can go even longer and lower, lengthening. And I can let my head fall back in ecstasy and then lengthen here. And I'm going to lift my heel, press into the ball of my foot, lower, and rotate my heel back. Lifting this ball of foot, rotating, bending the knee. I'm going to rise and lower my heel, lifting the hum of my pelvis, letting my whole torso float on top of my strong legs, lengthening and radiating my arms longer, lengthening longer from fingers to toes, going lower, lengthen, head falling back in ecstasy. Oh, that burn is so great. Our legs are so strong. Up, lower, heel rotates back, rise, rotate, lower, lengthening around, back, around, lift, rise, back, rise, turn out, lower, big drawing, gorgeous, huge, long circle, up and down. We're going to scoop our whole body together. So I'm going to bend my knees and I'm going to fire up my pelvic floor. You can grab it right here, right now. And if you squeeze it up, you can really feel the energy of that. So as I plie, just watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to plie and I'm going to squeeze up really a lot. So I'm not jumping, I'm just sliding in. You can try that out for yourself. Let's rise and lower a couple times here. Let's feel this rotation of the pelvis coming up and back. I'm very sweaty. I'm noticing that I'm not coming straight up and down, like I'm doing little wobbles. So that's great to notice that. Notice where you're at. Just finding that up. Let's add in our arms. Let's stay here for a while. Imagining ourselves getting longer and wider and more connected, spreading like peanut butter on warm toast. And slowly lower. Let's just find the push of our foot. We're going to lean into it and explode our foot like we were jumping on one leg. Let's aim to do 8. And our whole body, it's just along for the ride. It's engaged. I think that was 8. Let's go to the other side. So now we can say that we have explored the rise, resist, lowering. We can say we've explored what it's like to be here. And we can say that we've done the opposite, the push off. My ankles and feet feel warm and soft and strong. Notice how your feet and ankles feel. And if you wanted to become softer and warmer and stronger in the sensation of your ankles, ask yourself what you might need to do. Take a moment to do that and understand that for your own body. Great, so now we're going to find our wide second and we're going to come shift, back, front, side, 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 front, back, around, back, front, around, side, side, and front, back, around, and shift, front. See if you can get from edge to edge of your room, so you get to put your fingertips on the walls. Oops, I'm going to go side, 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 side. We're going to go front, back, side, 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 around. And we can be a bit playful in this exploration in attempting to reach the edges of the architecture of our room. Great. I need a break. My legs are burning. Shake it out. Take a moment to just process that. Grab a sip of water. Notice your breath. Let's do this a couple more times together. Let's remember our long fingernails with strings from our core. Let's remember our spine can move in so many different ways. Great. So we're going to come around, forward, around, back, around, side, 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 forward, around, back. To come side, reaching to the walls, forward, back, around, shift, and side, 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 forward, back, around, reach, side, side, side. That feels really like we've satisfied that. Good job, guys. Take a moment and see if there's anything more about that you want to understand. I noticed for myself, I'm like, I wonder what would happen, actually, if I chose to ignite the hum of my core a little bit more. So let's do it one more time. We're going to go around, front, really thinking of that hum of the core, the pelvic floor. Yeah, I can definitely feel like I can go farther when I put a bit more attention and effort there. Nice. Okay. So ask yourself, is there anything more about that? For me, I feel a little bit now curious. If I ignite my core a little more with that, what can I do with my spine? Okay, let's try that. So if we were to allow our spine to be a bit more free and physical, what could we do here? And I'm going to ignite my core a little more. And side, side. Cool. All right, interesting. Let's shake that off. Let's investigate our legs just a little bit more before we learn some choreography. Can we start drawing on the floor with our toes? And then when you've had enough on one leg, pour it into the other leg. We're just going to draw on the floor, finding different ways to move the leg. Then let's just come off the floor, drawing and exploring, recognizing the hum of the pelvis, the suppleness that can happen in the spine and head. Let go of looking at the screen. You can listen to my voice. Shift, other leg. We'll go a little higher. We'll keep doing this shift and exploration, gently bringing our leg higher each time. I'm thinking of just drawing one long looping brush stroke. Great. Now let's come back to parallel. We're going to float a knee up and experiment with how high we can lift it, maintaining the side of the toe at the leg. So a parallel retire. And just feel the femur roll deep in the hip socket and the knee coming higher. Now let's maintain this height, but let's explore what it's like to press it back. Just playing with this action now. Everything is burning and shaking. Great, let's return that down and do the other leg. Playing with the drop of the femur in the hip socket. And then it's just like someone's lifting your knee here. An invisible string. We still have our beautiful strings from our core. And then we can experiment. What's it like to press it back and keep that height? Just this specific articulation. Great. Let's explore a traditional développé where we're in first position. Our legs are rotating back. Before we stand formally in first, let's just come to parallel. And we're going to press this action to just ignite our lower bum. We want our lower bum turned on so our thighs are able to rotate, pelvis is lifting. So we're going to come up and then just stretch and expand out and then slowly lengthen down. And we'll do that front, side, and back. Let the knee float up and then expand out. Beautiful, you guys. Strong six-pack lifting up and letting the torso float light. Now let's do a grand rond de jambe. That means we'll extend the toe forward and draw as big a circle as we can around and lower toe up. Go at the pace so you can track everything that you're doing. Keeping it light, spine supple. So great, you guys. Let's explore flicking the leg up with that action of the knee lifting and the rest of the leg following. Use your space as you need. We can explore different directions. Great. Now let's explore some straight brushes or traditional grand battement. And we can take it as a little walk around the space. And then explore directions that are away from the traditional en croix. If you approach a wall, Great, use it. And then you can shake that out, or furniture, whatever, you know what I mean. Great, grab a little sip of water. Check in with your body and what it needs. This is a nice, I like this. And just change it though. Imagine we were a gorgeous bloom just opening. And so this is the vibration I feel like, ooh, we're gonna open. So with that image, I'm making my elbows high and then my wrists a bit bent. And I'm going to let myself find the bottom of my step here. And I'm going to let my knee float up as high as I can. And I'm going to vibrate my hands and my foot, do a little shaking as though it was about to open. I don't remember anything else. Don't worry, it's coming. So from here, okay, I need a moment. Moment, please. Okay. So from here, we're going to open lunge and shift. And I'm on the ball of my foot, but there's still weight on it. So we're going to sit here. We're going to vibrate. Zzz, and then we're going to open, lengthen, lunge through the metatarsal, shift back, and push here. And then one more time, let's do that. So I'm gazing like at my toes, my toe in front of me here. And then zzz, open lunge here. And then from here, my weight is on this leg. I'm going to zoom to fifth. We didn't do fifth at all today, so that's fine. I forgive myself as a teacher. Just arrive at fifth. And then from here, we're going to come down through the spine. So starting again. Actually, you know what? Let's just stand in first for a second. Find your first. And then we just want to simply cross that fifth and squeeze the inner thighs together. That's where our fifth is today. You can do it with the other leg. Just feel that for yourself. Great. We're here. This is a bit weird. I'm just doing my foot arrive down. So I'm going to pick this foot up and it's going to step. I'm trying to step forward by coming this way. And I'm going to let my body trail and my arms are going to cross. I feel like this much is clear. And then the next thing is we open. I'm lunging out. I go through my metatarsal. My chest breaks. I curl down. I shift. Both legs end up straight. And I'm leaning over here. I'm going to push so much into this foot and use my lower bum to rotate, arrive down. And as I'm coming down, I'm going to pick this leg up and step to this diagonal and cross. Then I'm going to open, and then I'm going to cross. Cool? So just from this step, I've come to fifth, I snake down. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to continue the snake down in my spine to here. Open, cross, up, down, ball change, ball change, shoulder rolls in. I've just stepped back and I'm crossing. I open, I cross, I lift this knee, step back. And if you don't want to do the arms, please don't do them. My arm here bends and opens. So it's doing that. So I go cross, open, cross. You can take bigger steps than what I'm doing. Just trying to stay on the screen. Up, step back. Ball change. My shoulder's gonna open and come in. Now we're in fifth. Cool, right? Okay. Let's do that all again together. It's so great. So, vibrating, the butt presses and resists open. We trail down, shift to here. Push, arrive fifth, melting down, step around, cross, open, cross. Pick up, step behind on the diagonal, step behind on the diagonal, shoulder in. So great, right? I feel you guys have it. I know there might be a couple questions, but it will become apparent. Let's do it 2 more times that way. I'm just gonna let the music play quietly in the background. It's basically, it's called repetition. It sounds the same the whole time, but I like that it fills the space with a bit of a, what I think is vibrational energy. So we come here, open and through, shift, arrive, push, fifth, snake, down, back, around, cross, open, cross, up, step back, around, fifth. We're good. Let's do that again. Let's go just slightly faster. Cool. So when we add on, we're going to retrograde that whole thing. It's going to make so much sense. So we've just finished here. We're going to go ball change, step here, open here, snake around, and we're going to come to here. So let's see if we can retrograde that arm on the way back. Here, step out. From here, I'm going to lunge back and come here. I know. Let's try that whole thing forward and back. And there's slightly different nuances. And just for the fun of like being a movement nerd, we can try to be a bit more specific with going forward and back, because I add certain things in each direction. So I'm going to try and do both. Okay, so here. Top of head should lead. Plie, out, dive, and come up. That was great. Good job, you guys. Let's do that a couple more times forward and back. And then we'll start to open up and experiment with researching the flow of it. Again. Top of head weights here. Diving this time. Opening, retrograding. Opening, letting the head come last. This time the head leads. And I'm doing this arm. So I would have to do that the back way. Step out, up and over. Cool. Shake that out. Let's just think about it for a second. I think I'm going slowly, which is great. I would love to challenge myself. I believe I could do two things with a bit more attention. Change my levels, so let my pelvis move up and down a bit more. Play with the depth of my plie. And I think I can also play with the flow. So take a moment and just ask yourself, what could I do a bit more of, or what would I like to be curious and experiment with? And I think you know this, but in case if you have the license to change the choreography slightly. So if you want to do something different, you're inspired to add something or shift it, you should definitely do that. Let's go forward and backward and forward and backward. Do the whole thing twice. Brain stopped. What happens next? Go back. Oh yeah. Cross. Cross. Sorry. Whew. Ended with the music. Okay. Think about that for a second. I might need to lunge a couple times on your other thigh. This thigh's starting to burn, so yeah. Try and keep your body even. We have about just slightly over 10 minutes left. So I think an excellent use of time would be to keep investigating this, and then we'll go into some stretching and lengthening. So let's say we'll work on this for about 4 more minutes-ish. So if there's something you really want to pay attention to, we can fire that up. Okay, here we go. I'm going to restart the track. We vibrate in a little tight bud, open lunge through, shift. Come to 5th, snake down, sneak back, cross, 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 step back. Dive. Open, snake through. Head last. Head dives. Land here. Head dives here. Again. Head comes last around. That one's hard for me. Head dives. Step head dives. Red, sing, open. Coming down. Extra core. Head last. Cross, step, back, here. Oh, that's awesome, you guys. Take a moment to go through it on your own. Great. If you have a question or there's something that you don't really get, you can ask. I think it's finding your own flow. So let's now do it forward and back 2 more times. And this is like our performance. This is our final expression of it. Here we go. Cool. If you have a chair or a table or a couch or a counter or a windowsill, let's find a place where we can stretch our glutes. So this looks like having a bent leg and just letting your knee fall open. Keep your foot flexed, your baby toe pulling back to your knee, and we'll just lean into this stretch. If for whatever reason you don't have something to put your foot up on, you can do a figure 4 stretch on your back, where essentially your leg is in the same position, and this knee's bent and pulling in. So essentially we want to just stretch out our glutes, our rotators, using our imagination to perceive our muscles like butter melting in a hot pan. When you feel ready, we can switch to the other leg. Finding the flexed foot, the baby toe pulling back to the knee just relaxing and opening. Keep considering your body widening and expanding. Notice how you feel. muscles melting like butter in a hot pan. Let's take an opportunity now to stretch our hamstrings. So you're going to bring a leg up that's closer to the wall. You're just going to rotate to it slightly and keep this foot flat. So grab the baby toe side of the foot. Try and keep your spine long. Really relaxing. Letting everything melt and lengthen. When you feel ready to switch, switch. There's no rush. Now let's stretch out our hip flexors. You may want a cushion or a towel if you need for under your knee. I feel like I want one. So we're just going to drop down. Our both legs will be at 90 degrees. We'll tuck our toes under and think of tilting our pelvis under. Lifting this arm and stretching over to the side. Lifting at the core and lengthening. Ideally, you're finding length in your psoas. There's a sensation of stretch. Turn the hum of the core engagement up a bit. We're going to uncurl this toe. We're going to step back, place your hands behind, then we're going to lift up. And you can put some energy into that knee and press your butt up, squeeze your glutes. Hopefully you have a sensation of a thigh stretch. Now let's step way forward. Tuck the toes, reach out the heel. Plant the hand, open up. Place the hands on the thigh. Lift the chest. Rotate, place the hand again. You can drop that knee and grab the foot. Tuck those toes under, stretch up. Let's rotate around. Lift the core. You can side stretch away. My Instagram is going to end in a couple minutes. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Thanks, Instagram. It was great to see you. We'll step back and push our butt forward. Ooh, this thigh's tighter. Stepping forward, tucking the toes under, opening up. Keep reaching at the heel, at the top of the head. Every direction that you can reach, do it. Shoot out your sternum out your heart. Lengthening down. Drop the knee, grab the foot. Stepping back to downward dog. We can pedal out our calves. Walking the hands to the feet, roll up. Grab a wall or a furniture and stretch your calves. We'll stretch the other calf. And just notice, ask yourself, what more do I need? I think a squat and a child's pose to release the lower back feels like a good idea. So I like to release my lower back by leaning against a wall and being able to squat here. It also releases my hips. Feels great. You can let your jaw be soft and exhale. And then if you can stay there if that feels good. If you have somewhere to hang off of and also do a squat, that also feels great. You can do that. And we can come to all fours and lengthen our lower back. Thank you so much for attending class and dancing with me live. I can feel your energy, and it's just so wonderful to have you. I really appreciate it. Feedback requests are please super encouraged. Thank you, Jasmine and Piper. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Listen to what you need, and if you have an opportunity to give, you can give. Keep receiving and giving. Thanks, Piper. Yeah, I can feel that. I hear you. Yeah. And I just wanted to share that this class is free. Josh Taylor, who's the artistic director of Defining Movement Dance, is awesome if you don't know him. I hope you get a chance to meet him one day. And he's also accepting donations, and you can send those via e-transfer to info@definingmovementdance.com. And it'd be awesome if you just said, you took my class, so he knows the reason for it. And have a really, satisfying rest of your day and weekend. I love you guys and I miss you. Sending you a big hug. I'll see you soon, okay? Mwah.